Excellent. Now, tell me about the great disappointment.
Pretender.
You've been talking to my husband.
Oh! That is not a fix. How predictable you are.
I am.
O'Brien. Yes, the great disappointment.
Was it something that afflicted many people?
Well, it was a surprisingly large number. When one thinks of expectations, for example, I mean, really delirious excitement about some enormous happening that will take place in the world, or a rebirth. A second coming is exactly right.
And there wasn't one.
Well, amazingly. There's a man called William Miller who discovered, by close scrutiny of the Bible, that Christ would come back in 1844 and scourge the world and clean the sanctuary, in the words of Daniel 8:4. And it wasn't like a minor cult. There were over 1 million Millerites who believed this. They sold their property, they sold their farms, they gave up everything, and they believed that it was all going to happen. And newspapers believed it. All kinds of people believed it. Their confidence was such that one man threw himself off a barn at exactly midnight, convinced that he would be scooped up and saved. He wasn't. You'll be astonished.
Got a doctor.
Yeah, and
Jesus is here. No, I need a doctor.
Jesus didn't arrive, and it was known as the Great Disappointment.
Was this in America, by any chance?
How did you guess?
They won't learn, will they?
Well, no. They really won't, because what's so interesting is a lot of people haven't heard of William Miller, but although this great disappointment happened, his followers shaved off into different religions of which you may have heard. For example, there was a woman who founded a religion called the Seventh-day Adventist that now has 15 million adherents in America. And she was a Millerite. And there was another man called Charles Russell who founded an even better-known religion, the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Well, they thought the world was going to end in about 1920, didn't they? Didn't they?
Yeah, well, that's
1920 they thought the world was going to end?
Part of what the apocalypse is the second coming. According to Revelations, the last trumpet sounds, there's a mighty wind, and Christ harrows hell, whatever that means, to harrow hell.
But I don't think those people ever really believe it's the end of the world. Because if you really did believe the world was going to end, you wouldn't wander around going, I think the world's going to end. You'd be just going, ah!
You'd be saying fancy a shag to that person you'd never dared say it to before. That's what most people in questionnaires asked what
John
they do.
McCririck in my case.
John McCririck, yes, exactly.
Can I just say, as far as that harrows hell thing,
Yeah.
you just need to put a comma in that sentence. Christ harrows hell.
By the way, who had purple triangles in the concentration camps, the death camps?
Was it the Barney the Dinosaur?
No. It is an odd thing. It's a thing most people...
Sorry, just think purple triangle. I think you're talking about Equality Street.
No, you know that everyone knows.
The triangles are green.
So yellow stars for Jews, pink triangles for gay people, so I don't know which one I'm wearing, both. What I wouldn't wear is a purple triangle. Which was the purple
Christians?
triangle?
Gypsies?
No, well,
Gypsies?
not
Romanies?
gypsies.
Lesbians?
It was Jehovah's Witnesses.
Manchester United supporters?
No. It was Jehovah's Witnesses were also in those camps. They had purple triangles. It's just a weird thought. But anyway, right up to now, there is a new kind of wave of people who, in America who believe, and about 50% of Americans do believe that Christ will return. And they have a special word for it. A special word for this moment when their bodies will be removed suddenly by Christ, leaving only their clothes behind them. It's called the Rapture, and it's enormous. In 1988, 4 million copies of Edgar Weisnant's book, 88 Reasons Why the Rapture Could Be in 1988 were sold. The Rapture wasn't in 1988, you may remember. But www.rapture-ready.com has millions of hits a year, as well as offering you handy letters to leave behind for your non-saved friends and loved ones. It has a particularly good section called Oops, I Guess I Wasn't Ready. This list spells out the perils of the post-rapture world in which you are marked by the Antichrist and stung by enormous wasps.
But on the plus side, the price of clothing goes right down.
Yes, there's a handy quiz called Am I Rapture Ready?
Is there an advice of what sort of loose-fitting clothes to wear
so that
will be better so you won't get caught on anything? You wouldn't want to get whipped out of a jock strap really quickly. You want boxer shorts or something like that.
Well, you better be careful because apparently it's imminent.
Is it?
It is imminent, yeah. The
When you
rapture
say
is imminent.
Imminent, you mean this week or?
Oddly enough, they're not being that specific.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. We wouldn't want a second great disappointment, would we?
No, that would be,
that would be
I
terrible.
certainly will be disappointed.
No. Well, the great disappointment came in 1844 when Jesus confounded all expectations by failing to return in glory.